Now, according to Stats SA, the biggest contributors to the jump were the finance and mining sectors, which shed over 156,000 jobs collectively. Manufacturing was also not exempted and has taken a massive knock as companies battle a lack of demand and unreliable power supply, among others. For more on the state of manufacturing in the country is Executive Director at Manufacturing Circle, Philippa Rodseth, who joins me now. Very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. What do you make of the manufacturing sector in South Africa, especially looking at the big numbers that we heard on the unemployment state?
The manufacturing sector, irrespective of the recent difficulties it has experienced in terms of insufficient demand, job losses, remains an incredibly important component of our economy. It is, as we talked to it in the manufacturing circle, the engine of growth for the economy. So given that we had COVID-related challenges last year, which impacted on operations of many of our factories, that obviously had a negative impact. But notwithstanding that, we need to look and see how it is that we can look to grow demand for our manufactured product and also deal with supply side challenges in order to maintain this very important component and element of our economy.
And when it comes to the impact of foreign imports to South African markets, how severe is the sector when it comes to, ensuring some sort of expansion there?
Well, interesting to note the impact of COVID, particularly last year, where we became very aware of the impact of our reliance on global value chains and what that does to us as a country and an economy when we can't get those imports, get access to those imports because of lockdown, for example. So what we've really learned as a result of the COVID pandemic is that to the extent that we can look to manufacture locally, we need to drive those opportunities. It's not to say that we can replace everything that we import with locally manufactured product. There needs to be an understanding of opportunities within value chains, where the blockages are to grow that growth and demand in local manufacture, and then execute on those.
As we look to Finance Minister Tito Mbowene's budget speech, what should the Finance Minister be doing to revitalize the sector? What do you want to hear from him tomorrow?
As the Manufacturing Circle, we advocate for investment-led budget as opposed to consumption-driven. However, notwithstanding the fact that we've got a very constrained fiscus, what we also talk to is that it really matters what money is spent, where it is spent, and how efficiently it is spent. And to that end, we talk very much to the importance of alignment between fiscal policy and industrial policy. So where, for example, is there going to be investment in infrastructure spend? And what sort of incentives are we looking to provide to the manufacturing sector to spur investment and growth? We've got, for example, Section 12I that incentivizes investment in new factories. We've got Section 12L, which is an energy efficiency incentive. Those are all very important for us. In addition, special economic zones with a beneficial tax rate, to look at those, and also to the extent that we can, how can we look at applying those benefits to existing industrial areas that are currently experiencing challenges.
And what are your expectations, if you'll allow me to interrupt you for the sake of time, what are your expectations on the unreliable power supply from Eskom as we look ahead to the budget speech?
Well, obtaining a more reliable and consistent energy source is very, very important for us as a sector. Energy is one of the key inputs to driving the manufacturing sector. And to that, we look forward to what lies ahead in terms of potential plans for looking to restructure and address this area, because there's work that needs to be done there.
Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. Philippa Rodseth, the Executive Director at Manufacturing Circle.